All right. Welcome back. We're going to try this again. I'm Philip. This is Brian, and you are listening to the Horror Returns podcast. Lance is not with us today, but we'll start it out with Cool of the Week, man. What you got going?
I checked out two movies this week, one horror, one action. The first one is on Shudder, came out last week. It is the body horror Cinderella movie, The Ugly Stepsister.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty decent movie. It is subtitled, so you have to read quite a bit.
Oh, what language is it in?
I think it's a Swiss film.
Oh, that kind of sucks. Well,
Yeah.
oh well.
There was some decent body horror in it, nothing too outrageous, and well, in my opinion, nothing too outrageous, but it was pretty cool. And it was a interesting way to tell the Cinderella story from the perspective of the stepsister.
Where
So,
Cinderella was the bad guy and the stepsister is the victim in every situation. Let me guess.
well, Cinderella was kind of like a not even a main character really. She would pop in every now and then, and they would just kind of treat her like shit. But she was just kind of basically a side character in this story.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't like the bad guy? I totally
No,
expected that to happen. If
not
it was
really.
being made in America, she'd be the bad guy, guaranteed.
Yeah. So I do recommend it. Like I said, subtitles, you got to read quite a bit. So there's that. And then I checked out a new action film in the theaters starring Josh Hartnett called Fight or Flight.
Josh Hartnett in an action film. How'd that go?
He's pretty fucking badass.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want to give the plot away because I don't hear anybody really talking about it much. But if you take Bullet Train, the premise of Bullet Train, and add in the movie Crank and put it on all on a plane, that's Fight or Flight.
Well, I don't hate that idea.
Yeah. So that's all I got.
Okay. Well, I don't have much this week. We've had yeah, I did chaos, kids and work and stuff. But I
Mm-hmm.
did check out the Netflix documentary. It's called A Deadly American Marriage. And so it's this Irish guy has like this fairy tale life, marries his high school sweetheart, has a couple kids. She dies. She has a like an asthma attack one day and dies. And so now he's a single dad with two kids. So they hire this au pair from America to watch after the kids. And she looks a lot like Blake Lively and is probably more crazy, which should tell you something.
Yeah.
But either way, on the scale, he's like maybe a 4 at best, and she's like 8 or 9.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was a little weird to start with. Uh, but he's making all the money. She apparently had a miscarriage before they got married, and so kids. She really connected with the kids. Kids are always a thing that she's wanted, and so they get married and they move to America. Start having some issues. They're about to get divorced, and instead of letting him take the kids back to Ireland, some of this is speculation on my part, but regardless of how you think about it, like her and her dad apparently brutally murdered him one night. Now, it's possible that he was trying to attack her. That is the story that they're going with. But like bashed his head in multiple times with a brick that just happened to be on her nightstand.
Oh,
And the dad had the 65-year-old ex FBI agent dad had a baseball bat. Although my theory, well, I don't want to get too into it, but my theory is that he was dead before Dad showed up, and he's just trying to cover for his daughter.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a super interesting one, and it kind of leaves it up. It sort of presents both sides, and kind of leaves it up for you to decide. They have interviews with like his kids, who are living in Ireland with his family now, and the wife and the father and the detectives and stuff that worked on the case. And they're all out of jail now because they're rich, I guess. I don't know. Fuck. Murder somebody, you only get a couple of years in jail. Why not?
Mhm.
American justice. But it was a good one. That's about all I've watched this week, aside from the same trash TV that my wife makes me watch.
Dance Moms.
Yeah, still watching Dance Moms. Jojo Siwa is on that. Is that her name? Siwa? Sawa?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, is this where she came from? I didn't know that. Anyway. All right, so that's cool of the week. We'll burn through this episode since Lance isn't here. What do we got for horror headlines?
Not many, just little bits and stuff here and there. Micah Monroe is replacing Margaret Qualley in the psychological thriller Victorian Psycho.
Micah Monroe, is she
It
blonde?
it follows
Yes.
Long Legs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like her.
And it was, like I said, she's replacing Margaret Qualley, which we last seen her in The Substance.
Oh yeah. She's fantastic and super hot.
Which I'm kind of bummed to find out some of those nude scenes, it wasn't her body.
Well, I didn't know that.
Let's
She looked pretty
see.
badass in the spandex, though.
Yeah, she did.
I was like, wow, I didn't know she had it like that.
Let's see. Elizabeth Olsen joins the vampire thriller Flesh of the Gods from Panos Cosmatos. He is the director of Mandy.
Okay.
And the movie will also star Oscar Isaac and Kristen Stewart.
The director of Mandy. That gives me hope and concern at the same time.
Let's see. Kid Cudi is set to direct and star in the horror romance When the Light Dies.
All right. Has he ever directed anything before?
I don't know. This might be his debut.
The guy's an artist, man. I'm down. I got a Kid Cudi record back there. Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not really seeing anything big that happened. Doing a quick check. That might be it for news.
All right.
Yep, that's it.
We're headed on down to the trailer park where we bring you the big, the small, and sometimes the very, very weird. Do you like that intro?
Yes.
What do you got?
We got only one trailer. This listeners, it's going to be a quick episode because not a lot of shit happened this week.
Well, that's good because we are lagging way behind on our stuff.
Yeah. We got The Ritual, directed by David Meidel, starring Al Pacino and Dan Stevens.
It took me a minute to realize that was Al Pacino.
Yeah, he's doing a whole, or at least trying to do a whole accent or whatever he's got going on. This is supposed to be the story that inspired The Exorcist.
That demon's got a big ass.
What'd you think of The Ritual?
I mean, I'm definitely down, dude. Al Pacino and Dan Stevens in an exorcism movie, sign me up. That's all you had to say. I love exorcism movies. I'll watch all of them.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because The Exorcist set that bar so high.
Yeah.
But like you said, this has Al Pacino, Dan Stevens, and it's the story that the movie is based on. So I'm definitely intrigued. Didn't really see nothing new in the trailer that just kind of stood out. The
Yeah,
typical possessed girl and the bones cracking and stuff like that, contorting.
yeah. There wasn't anything super exciting in the trailer. It's more about who's in it and what the story's about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping for a wacky Al Pacino performance, and Dan Stevens is kind of playing the straight and narrow priest, and Al Pacino just flies off the handle.
Oh, I do have another cool of the week. I clicked on it last night. Dan Stevens is in it. There's a damn it, what is that guy's name? It's also on Netflix. Tom Segura has got a new series, and it's like an episodic thing.
Oh,
Uh, so he's a stand-up comedian, but it's all like sketch comedy stuff. It's called Bad Thoughts, I think, something like that.
okay.
Anyway, so I the first like episode and a half is just a big long awful sex joke, which is funny but like very crude. Uh,
Mhm.
and then he has this. I've only watched the first couple of episodes, and then he has this. He has this bit where he plays Steven Seagal, and it is so funny.
Yeah, I've seen him play dress up like Steven Seagal before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at first it's like young Steven Seagal where they like show a clip of his movie. He's like, "Hey," and then he like beats all the guys up, and then he runs off like a little.
Yeah.
His run is hilarious. And then it shows him as old fat Steven Seagal, and he's like leaning back in a chair, and he's like blocking guys with his. It's great. So I'll throw that in there as a tribute to Dan Stevens. Also, the kid from The Sopranos is in it. He's pretty funny.
Oh, what the fuck is his name? I was
The
gonna
the one
call. I
that
was
played
gonna.
the one that played the son. I don't know his name.
Yeah, I was gonna call him AJ, but that's his
Yeah.
character's name. All right. You ever check out Tom Segura's podcast with his wife? Your
I've
mom's house?
yeah, I've seen a couple of episodes, but it's been a while.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'd
Yeah,
recommend that.
Tom Segura is a funny guy, man. I like him a
Yeah.
lot. He's like in shape now. Like the very first sketch is him as an assassin, and he shoots the wrong person, like in that Fastbender movie, and then and then he like shits his pants. He has to like take his pants off, and there's like shit running down his legs. He's got a bare ass. Yeah, it's chaotic. All right,
All
back to
right.
the show.
The Ritual hits theaters, I believe. I believe this is a theater movie, June 6th, so not too far from now.
All right, I'll watch this one in the theater. That Al
Yeah.
Pacino will bring me to the theater.
And there was a new like teaser or something for Oz Perkins' new movie Keeper. I didn't put it on there because it's basically the main actress like scribbling on a pad for an hour straight. It's
Oh,
weird.
well, that's not much of a teaser.
Yeah. Which everybody knows Oz Perkins did Long Legs and The Monkey. So I'm sure this continuous scribbling on the pad probably has something to do with the movie that is just going over my head. But I didn't put it on here for the trailer park because, like I said, it's like an hour long, and that's all she's doing is staring at the camera, scribbling on a pad.
Hmm, that's weird, but
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
yeah.
We'll see what he does. I mean, hopefully that's not the whole movie, but we'll see.
That would be kind of funny if they just added another 30 minutes of other stuff happening to this hour long scribbling on a pad.
Nah, she's just scribbling on the pad for another 30 minutes. That's the whole movie.
But that's the only trailer for the trailer park.
All right, on to listener feedback. week. This week we shine the podcast spotlight on Chuddle the Pod. Chuddle the Pod is a weekly horror movie podcast hosted by Brian, Ross,
Good name.
and Sam, where they explore the darkest corners of cinema, from classics to new releases, with a focus on embracing the darkness with a smile and fostering a community of horror lovers, according to their website. The podcast is known for its blend of fear, laughter, and the joy of sharing scary movies. What does Chuddle mean?
I got to listen to a little bit of the podcast. I was going to message them to see where the origin of the name came from, but I didn't get around to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I get it.
I think I'm just going to start from the beginning of their podcast.
There you go. I'm sure that'll explain it, or
Yeah.
not. Well, it should not. That would be great. And then you're just wondering the whole time, what the fuck does this mean? Or maybe I just am not with it, and that's a new slang.
Well, I'm probably right there with you because still trying to understand what is it, brain rot words?
No.
Like skivvy toilet and all this
Skivvy
bullshit.
toilet. That's one my daughter throws at me a lot, and I'm like, what are you, that? Don't fucking say that.
Yeah.
Let's see. In regards to Welcome to Derry, Michael Prazeris says, can't wait for the series on HBO Max.
Yeah, should be at least getting a trailer here sometime in the next couple of weeks.
And that's the same dude playing Pennywise, right?
Yeah, Skarsgård.
Okay, cool. In regards to Leviathan, Eriko Maharaj says, what verse in the Holy Bible talks about the Leviathan?
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah.
Good question. I'll look it up. But that's it for listener feedback this week.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be super quick, which is good because we're starting super late. But our logos and intro come from Steve Carlton from the Geeks, and our original skull artwork comes from Natsulani. And help us out by becoming a Patreon patron. I'm not asking, I'm telling. We'll let you pick the movies for a future show at any amount, and $5 or more a month. Also, pick a commentary for a future bonus show. That would be awesome. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Heather, we got your picks.
Get
it. And fortunately for Heather, they're all picks that we have not reviewed.
Oh, nice.
Dave, still need your picks, buddy.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. On to featured attractions. Yeah, this will be super quick.
Yeah.
It's Clown Week at the Horror Returns, so we're going to start with The Clown at Midnight from 1998. If you've never heard of this movie, like I haven't, there's a reason for that. 7 teenagers are stalked by a murderous clown while refurbishing an old opera house. Director is Jean Pellerin, also known for Daybreak and Laserhawk.
Laserhawk.
I don't know what Laserhawk is. Daybreak was good though, right?
It was with Stallone.
Oh, was it?
Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't know. There's probably a shitload of movies that have a real similar name. I thought it was a vampire thing.
Oh, is that the one he did?
Is it? I
With
don't know.
The Ethan Hawke?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Well, there you go.
I think we
Check
reviewed that. I don't know. Check the spreadsheet.
Writer is Kenneth J. Hall, also known for Puppet Master and Dr. Alien.
Dr. Alien sounds like something I need to watch.
Probably not. Filmed on location at the Walker Theater in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. The theater opened in 1907 and was designated a National Historic Site of Canada in 1991. It was renamed the Burton Cummings Theater for the Performing Arts in 2002. All right. That's some pretty good trivia. What'd you think about The Clown at Midnight?
I try to be the positive one on this show. I try to give the benefit of the doubt to filmmakers and movies and stuff like that. But this movie is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
I was watching this and I just kept telling myself, oh man, I gotta fucking apologize to these guys for making them watch this movie because it is boring. It is 90s as hell with the music.
It didn't even match anything. They were just like,
Yeah,
let's play this weird fucking ska song
yeah.
over
During a
shit that
cleaning
doesn't even make any
montage,
sense.
there was a fucking cleaning montage for minutes.
Yeah. I was
The
like,
kills, the kills are not even. There's like, I guess, as far as this movie's concerned, one decent kill. It was a decapitation that you actually get to see. But
I did laugh at that one.
other than that, it's like off-screen kills and stuff like that. There's some recognizable people in the cast. Christopher Plummer,
Yeah.
who's in the movie for probably 10 minutes, hamming it up.
That's where their
Margot
budget
Kid
went.
Margot Kidder's in the movie, original Lois Lane.
Oh yeah. She's in there for a minute.
Yeah.
Ashley
Uh
Banks.
yeah, Tatiana Ali.
Yeah, she's in there.
She's in there for some reason. This whole group of people does not even look like they would even hang out with each other.
No, not at all.
The music doesn't match. The cast is unlikable, and I felt like they didn't even like each other in the movie.
It's like
Even
a bad version of the Breakfast Club.
yeah, even the I guess you would call him, if you had to label him, like the jock type guy
Yeah.
and the mean girl who are
Yeah.
banging. They don't even like each other.
Yeah. Even while they're banging.
And then you got the story of
What,
somebody getting murdered by a clown, and then you flash forward years later and the main chick's like connected to it, and she keeps having these, I'm assuming, psychic visions of what has happened in the past,
true.
which makes no sense.
The mean girl does have some great boobs though, and they do show them.
Yes, they do.
It doesn't make any sense in the movie, but
Yeah, because this movie played like it was PG-13.
oh, I absolutely thought it was, and then that happened, and I had to hit stop. I was like, all right, everybody out.
But I'm trying to summarize the story because I checked out so long ago. Like I said, when they had the musical montage playing the music that did not fit in this movie at all, I kind of threw my hands up.
Yeah, it was so bad, and it went on for like 4 minutes too long.
And then the killer, the clown that the murders were pinned on, turns out to be the main girl's father. He's been locked up in this theater all these years by Christopher Plummer, who's the real murderer, and he wanted the mom, but now he wants the daughter. It got really weird at the end.
Yeah, it was super diluted. I'm not sure I understood it, and I really didn't need to.
But I mean, I guess I can say this is another one checked off the list, but would it have ever been on my list? Probably not. And I
I didn't
definitely
even know
can't
this
recommend
movie.
this.
Yeah, I didn't even know this movie existed.
Well, I was looking for clown movies that we haven't talked about or anything that was associated with clowns. And the movies that we actually do have on a spreadsheet kind of were like canceling out a whole bunch of other ones. And then this one came up, and then we mentioned it last week to Bede, and Bede was, oh, I kind of always wanted to watch that movie. And I was like, okay, it might be a good one. Nope.
Nope. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on everything that you said. I definitely checked out on the story. Halfway through it, like it was worse than I thought it was gonna be, and about halfway through it, when the sex scene for no reason happened, uh, I mean, not that I'm complaining a whole lot, but like I had it would like it didn't match the tone. Nothing in this movie matched the tone. The montage didn't match the tone. The sex scene didn't match the tone. And then they had this weird killer clown thing going on at the end.
One of the girls' names was Walnut.
Was it?
Yeah, the one that was like super into like supernatural occurrences and stuff like that.
Oh, the goofy one with like the curly hair that only showed up a couple times.
Yeah, her name was Walnut.
Yeah, this was just a really bad movie. Like, man, I almost want to put it on the list with like To Jennifer and some of the others that we've
Oh, I wouldn't blame you.
really shit on because this was so garbage. But it was like garbage enough for me to like not even give a shit. Like, I forgot everything that happened in this movie immediately after watching it. So there's that. All right. Scores on this one. What do you think?
What one?
One. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a one. I mean, Christopher Plummer can only do so much. And I don't think Tatiana Ali was awful. She wasn't good. She
The
definitely
movie's
couldn't.
so weird. She has a sword fighting scene with the gay friend
Yeah, and he was like,
who has a sword fighting scene with the jock guy earlier and defeats him quickly.
yeah.
For some reason, he's expert swordsman. For some reason, I don't know.
It's because he's gay. That's what he does for a living, sword fighting.
Okay, it makes sense.
But he was like over the top gay. It was ridiculous. The whole fucking movie was terrible.
I don't even think. Yeah, we did see his death scene. I'm trying to remember the movie. I think he got electrocuted, and you only saw it for a couple seconds, and then
Oh yeah, it was the jock guy that got his head cut off, right? Who
I,
was
I
it?
I think it was one of the girls. I don't
Oh,
remember
maybe
what
it was one
happened
of
to
the
the
girls.
jock guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe even mixing up my movies at this point.
What we're trying to get across is this movie is incredibly forgettable, not unforgettable.
Yeah, you can definitely skip this one. It was not good at all.
Yeah, if you do want to watch it, I believe it's on Tubi. I watched a copy of it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched it on Tubi. Tubi's got some good shit and some bad shit.
Yeah.
So there's that. All right. Well, that one went quick. I figured it would. I was like, I'm not even really sure I remember a whole lot from this movie. But we'll talk about the next one. Clown in a Cornfield. Sounds like a terrible name. We'll see how it goes. From 2025. Uh you know what you're getting into, Clown in a Cornfield, right?
Mm-hmm.
A fading Midwestern town in which Friendo the Clown, a symbol of bygone success, reemerges as a terrifying scourge. Director is Eli Craig, also known for Tucker and Dale versus Evil and Little Evil. What? That was the one. I don't think I watched that. That was the one with the guy from Parks and Rec, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
You
his
said it was all right,
son
right?
for a Netflix movie, it's
Okay.
fine. It's nothing that you're going to be giving high scores to, but I think you get some kind of entertainment out of it.
Yeah. Now, Tucker and Dale, on the other hand, is one of my favorites. It's a classic.
Classic.
Writer Eli Craig with Carter Blanchard and Adam Cesare. Based on the novel Clown on a Cornfield by Adam Cesare. Two characters in the film are named Rust and Cole, respectively, which is the name of Matthew McConaughey's character in True Detective, albeit spelled a little different as Rust Cole.
Hmm.
Is that on purpose? It seems like a weird thing
Must
to have as
have
trivia.
been a fan of Matthew McConaughey or a fan of True Detective.
All right, guess so. All right, what'd you think about Clown on a Cornfield?
I was actually looking forward to this one. I heard this one looked like it could be a fun slasher with some interesting kills in it. Um, I will have to say I didn't really start enjoying the movie until this last half of the movie because it took a while to get going. The first half really lets you know that this is based off of, I believe, a young adult novel, a YN novel,
That makes
or a
sense.
YA novel. I mean.
I don't think I realized that going into it, but yeah, that makes sense because they were really into the
Yes,
character development part of this one.
yeah, a lot of teenage stuff, a lot of conversations amongst them, a lot of build up to these characters who I mean, it gives you some backstory on the main girl, why she moves to this town from I think the East Coast. She moves to the Midwest. They fill you in on why she's moving there, and then she befriends again. Maybe it's just me, but a lot of these kids kind of didn't seem like they would hang out with each other. And these kids like run a YouTube channel where they make, I guess, like horror videos, little horror movies based on Friendo the Clown.
Is that it, or are they just pranks? Well, maybe they are kind of slasher type stuff that looks sort of real.
Yeah, because from what I remember of seeing the videos that they were watching, it seemed to star mostly them in it.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
and she befriends them, and then while they're filming one of their video, well, actually, it's not really they're filming a video; they're filming a prank on her, which ends up being she ends up being in the video. Stuff with the friend starts happening, deaths and stuff, and then that's when the movie picks up for me.
Yeah.
And then the twist is something I didn't even think was going to happen when it came into play. And I thought that was kind of a fun angle to play. And we'll get into that in the spoilers. But a little disappointing in the beginning. It picked up in the second half and ended up having some fun in the second half. Didn't know if it's going to raise my score as much as I thought the movie was going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So I didn't really even hate the beginning. I feel like it did something that a lot of young adult horror movies don't do, and it was, character development.
mm-hmm.
Like I kind of gave a shit about these like so the guy's daughter, like the main character, I kind of loved her in this movie. She was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I expect to see her in a lot more stuff upcoming, hopefully. Um, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Of course, they had to have the cheesy message at the end, but we'll get to that.
yeah,
Um, but I did kind of see where they were going with it, and so I sort of guessed the twist, I guess. Uh, but I'll get your take on that once we get into
okay,
spoilers. But yeah, like I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. I mean, with a movie with a name like Clown in the Cornfield, you're not going there for for an Oscar worthy movie. But it gave me more than I expected. So I'll give it credit there.
all
I liked
right.
it. All right. I guess we'll go scores and spoilers. What do you think?
I really wanted this to be like a, a hidden gem movie that I wasn't expecting, and it didn't quite live up to it. I did ended up having a lot of fun at the end, and there was some pretty cool kills in here.
Yeah.
But it did do the thing where I wanted some gore,
Yeah.
but it did more of the blood spraying in someone's face
Right.
type of kills, and I think they kind of missed the mark on having a super fun movie with creative kills in there.
There was a decapitated head getting thrown around. That was fun.
Yeah. So
But yeah.
I think I want to say seven, but I'm kind of at a 6.5.
Okay. I'm gonna go 7 on it. I
Okay.
I think it was a lot more solid than I expected it to be. I had a lot of fun with it. Despite the ridiculous message. Really, that was that was my big downfall. That and it was a stupid clown movie, but I guess we'll get into more of that one in the spoilers, because I didn't expect what they did with the clown. You know what I mean? All right, let's go spoilers.
All
Multiple
right.
clowns. That was
Multiple
fun.
clowns. Yes. I honestly I didn't see that coming because I was like I thought it might have been another clown because I was like they killed this clown pretty fucking easy.
Yeah,
So there has to be someone or they killed the wrong person.
and they
But
never
then
unmasked any of them,
yeah.
which
And
is
then
weird.
you get that shot of the cornfield where one friendo pops up, then another one, then another one, then another one.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay. And I kind of took it as I was like, is this kind of like reverse Children of the Corn, where
yeah,
it's the adults like killing the kids?
that's exactly what it was. And that's exactly what I expected it to be. But yeah, that's exactly what it was. I mean, because you knew as soon as that dude popped up, I don't know his name, the guy that played the main kid, that the love interest dad, like the mayor of the town or whatever.
Oh, Kevin Durant.
Yeah, as soon as he popped up, I was like, okay, well, he's gonna play a bigger part than just one scene.
Yeah, he was barely in the movie. I think that Kevin Durant probably filmed all his scenes in one day.
Probably.
And then we also had the other recognizable name, Will Sasso, uh,
Oh
the
yeah,
the sheriff.
yeah. Who was not as funny as I expected him to be.
No, he kind of played it more straight in this one,
Mm-hmm.
but he was doing a pretty good accent. He does good impressions and stuff like that with his
Oh yeah,
comedy.
for sure.
So
I think he does a great Steven Seagal too.
yeah, he does a good rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got to see him do the rock. That sounds good. A,
but
a lot of the
yeah,
comedy came from the kids, and
yeah,
I thought the timing was spot on, especially from the main girl. I liked her a lot.
yeah. She was good. There was a couple of the girls I thought were I can't looking for the actress's name. Veretti Marks. She was not the blonde one, but the other girl.
Okay.
I thought she was pretty good in it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The two dumb ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a good job of kind of subverting what who we thought was the killer. Because of course, when you meet the neighbor that walks her to school, he's
Yeah.
kind of no emotions, no expressions, likes to
Yeah.
hunt, doesn't do anything else.
Yeah. You thought for sure he was going to be the killer. I
Yeah.
mean, well, not really, except that that's what they're obviously setting it up for, is for him to be the main uh that guy's for sure the killer.
Yeah, because they even do the thing where they're like driving out and he's just walking out hunting deer in the middle of the night, looking kind of sinister.
Yeah. Yeah, carrying a buck back
Yeah.
across the road and they almost hit him with their car.
But I think where it just kind of it probably would have got 7 or 8 if they would have just went gory on the kills.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there was some good ones in there, but nothing really stood out to me.
Yeah, I like the weightlifting one where they cut the guy's head off. That was
Hmm.
kind of neat, but they also showed that in the trailer.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? But then that's where the comedy kind of picks up, because like those two girls are tossing his head back and forth because they think it's a joke, until they're like, guys, he's really fucking dead, and they're like, God. But yeah, I think that main girl, she killed it with the comedy. Her timing was beautiful. I just in general, the message of the movie was, these guys are old. They're like old clowns. Like totally. Like they're so dumb because they're old, and we know more because, we just are here now.
Yeah.
And
How
old
was
people, like, they didn't even have phones, right? They're so dumb. Like, what about
Oh,
before them? They didn't even have airplanes. They're so dumb.
yeah, they did the thing with the rotary phone. Like,
That was a
where
great
where are the numbers?
that was a great bit. And they had the bit with the manual transmission. I like that one.
Oh
Uh
yeah, when your dad wants to teach you how to drive stick, you say yes.
yeah, I mean they kind of overplayed it a little. But I think it was trying to sort of dole it out to both sides a little bit.
Yeah. And
Uh
how is the town going broke when did they invent corn syrup?
is that what it was? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like the Kevin Durant's, like his family, like his great great grandfather or something invented corn syrup.
Oh, well, see, they could have played on that for sure because now, like, if we were trying to get rid of corn syrup, which we totally should, uh, that would be detrimental to them, and
Hmm.
they could have gone that route.
Yeah.
But
Do
I
you
don't know.
see
Yeah,
do
it was pretty straightforward, but good comedy, fun kills. You always got to have the exploding character, which I I'm all in for. It makes me laugh every time. Like when they hit that guy with the car and he exploded. That was
oh yeah.
fantastic.
So I believe if anybody missed this in theaters, I think it's getting the number of theaters it's in added to, and it's going to be on Shutter.
Yeah, because it was a Shutter produced movie or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I expect it, and maybe it was supposed to be originally just released on Shutter, and they just decided to go to the theater with it because it's decent.
Yeah, I think a lot of word of mouth from like film festivals it was showing in kind of helped it out. And
Yeah.
I don't have the numbers here, but I heard it did pretty well for the budget that it cost to make the movie. It did pretty well in the box office.
Like I'm not mad at paying money for that one. Like I had a better time than I thought I was going to for sure going to a movie called Clown on a Cornfield.
Yeah. Would you watch a sequel?
Yeah, I think so. Like I was pleasantly surprised with this movie.
Yeah. I also like the look of Friendo too.
Yeah. See, I
Kind of.
guess that's my only thing is that it didn't have like a big bad. I mean, it sort of did because it was Kevin Durant, but like
Well, he wasn't even in the Friendo mask. He just had
I
face
know,
paint on.
but he looked kind of better. The rest of them sort of look like killer clowns from outer space, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, kind of. I kind of saw it like a mix between original Pennywise and Killer Clowns.
Yeah,
So
but
you think,
I think they pulled it off. I'm not sure how they would do a sequel, but I'm sure they could come up with something.
well, I think at the end, her father's running for mayor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think he had a bunch of those little signs out in his yard. I think with his name on it.
The main girls?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't even catch that.
so maybe they can play off of that. Maybe some of the original town people don't want him to be mayor, and he ends up becoming mayor.
Oh, and then they'll have the young friendos that kill all the old people.
Yeah, there.
There
See, movie writes itself.
it is. We're gonna start making movies, man.
Yeah. I think that's it for spoilers.
Yeah, but yeah, pleasantly surprised with the movie, man. But as always, we want to thank you for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. This was a quick one. We'd love to hear your feedback and ideas. You can always reach us at horrorreturns at gmail.com or find us or our merch. Go and buy our merch. It's awesome. At www.thehorrorreturns.com and follow our social media links from there. And hear the latest episodes of the show. Next week, we wrap our Final Destination retro with a very special guest. and we check out Final Destination 5 and The New Bloodlines. So until the horror returns again, Brian.
Good night.